It has been 1 month since Hi-Fi Rush shadow dropped on us during the January 25th Xbox press conference, direct, whatever you want to call it, and we got to talk about this game. I am here with the one and only Chris from 1H1D, a Hi-Fi Rush super fan, to talk about this action rhythm game. Chris, how the heck are you?
I am doing quite all right, Tom. Thank you so much for this. I'm excited to talk about this game with someone and not look like a crazy person.
Hi-Fi Rush, it is a rhythm-based action game. Think Devil May Cry meets Guitar Hero. It's got a great soundtrack with a mix of licensed rock hits and original songs, a very vibrant color palette, and a fun cast of characters. Chris, you watched the Xbox presentation live, correct? I remember talking to you on Discord that day because I was busy. And I just remember you were like, this game, man, this game, what is this? Tell me what your initial thoughts were when you saw this announced.
Well, actually, funny enough, I think I was messaging you because I think you and I have the same kind of disgust when either trailers or movies start with that whole, this is me. Yep, this is me, and this is what happened before, and it's like. I did an eye roll literally when that happened for the trailer. As the game progressed, or at least the trailer progressed, I was like, oh, okay, this is actually kind of cool looking. And I think it just stream of consciousness. As I think I was talking to you about it, and I was like, oh, this looks really cool. I was like rhythm based game with like you said, Devil May Cry, like action. Like this looks pretty cool, and it's by the developers of Evil Within. Okay, this is interesting. It's just such a big surprise, honestly. Big surprise.
Absolutely. You mentioned the developer Tango Gameworks. They also did. Is Tokyo Ghostwire almost a year old already? Is this the world we're living in?
Yeah, because it should be dropping in Game Pass soon, if it's not already.
Okay, wow. Well, yes, as you mentioned, also developers of Evil Within. And yeah, we're so close to also maybe the 1 or 2 month anniversary of Forspoken that I'm sure people who watched the trailer were like, oh no, cringe dialogue. But
yeah.
As we mentioned, this dropped the same day it was announced, which, a lot of people have said that just shows the confidence that Microsoft had in this Bethesda published game. So you jumped on it day one, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, as soon as I saw that trailer and it said that it was available today, I was like, okay, I'm going to give this a shot, and was blown away. Absolutely blown away.
The positivity was running wild. Absolutely. From you, from other friends of our on our different shows and all my feeds. Can you remember the last time a game surprised people the way this one did? Because I feel like it's very limited, very few and far between.
That's a good question. I mean, recently, at least for me, was High on Life. I know that game had a lot of. There was a ramp up to it, right? Like there was a lot of trailers, announcements for it, and stuff like that. And I'm not necessarily like the biggest Rick and Morty fan, but like this game kind of was resonated with me for some reason, and that's why in that sense it kind of surprised me.
Do you think that more games should shadow drop? Like I think that people are so surprised when they're taken by surprise. You know what I mean? We live in this video game hype cycle of, announced at E3 4 years in advance and then slowly drip fed to us. And then sometimes by the time we get it, maybe we're burnt out on it or our expectations are too high. But this, like, we just got it. And I think this would have had a positive reception no matter how it got delivered to audiences. But do you think shadow drops would be better more often in gaming?
I think it's a slippery slope. But I mean, to your point about like the drip free, like Cyberpunk's one of the biggest examples of where it could be the hype just gets too much. I was part of that hype train. I was probably leading that hype train for Cyberpunk, and then when it actually dropped and all the issues and stuff like that, that's it'll definitely kill the wind to the sales of that. But I mean, I feel like for AA games it makes sense. I don't know about AAA games because it is a slippery slope because you like if there's the expectation of a shadow drop, then it's not really a shadow drop, right? You can't be if you're not surprised by it, then it's like okay. That's why I was like I feel like the next developer direct that Xbox has or whoever has. Like, but Nintendo does this a lot too, right? They definitely do this on like a more regular cadence of doing these shadow drops or games that are like releasing that day that these events happen. So
Yeah, absolutely. That's how Tetris 99, for example, was released. That was a shadow drop. The
right.
other big one I remember was Apex Legends. Nobody knew that was coming, and they announced it immediately. But I remember it was day one, and that had a lot of people like, "Whoa, whoa!" Like I didn't even know to expect this, and look at this, holy
Yeah.
crap, you know.
Yeah.
So same kind of vibes here. What's your kind of general thoughts? I know you have a very deep and well developed micro review available on your podcast feed right now. And
Yeah.
I don't want you to ruin that very, very cool review, but just your general thoughts on the game, how it played, how it made you feel, things like that.
Well, it gave me the same feelings I had in the 360 era of games, where it was just like there was just joy and excitement in playing these kind of games. It is like that style of game where it's like this 3D platformer with some quirkiness. And I was like back in the 360 days, was like when I was like really into the games like Rock Band and Guitar Hero and stuff like that. So it hit me with all these different vibes, and it was so cool. And again, like from a developer that you don't really expect that to come from. So it was such a joy to really dive into a game like this. And the mechanics wise and stuff like that, it was they did a nice like drip feed of all the stuff that your character Chai can do. But when you're just doing the heavy and light attack, basic combos with those two buttons, and then later on you have the magnet arm mechanic,
The grapple hook,
and then you
baby.
have the grapple hook, yeah, and then you had the parry, which like opens up another level of stuff, which is just and I think they did it at a nice pace, and on top of that, each what they call track in the game was, I felt like, just a nice bit of time. Like it wasn't over, like each track didn't like overstay its welcome, which is great. I love that like I could probably finish a level under an hour and feel satisfied that I completed it. Like it was great in that sense too. So, and of course the music, you talked about the music, and it's like not only just the licensed stuff, but the stuff that they that they created for the game was great. It just kept you going, and it kept you like pushing you through the storyline. It's cool.
Agreed on all points. Sincerely, I think that this game just makes a great impression right off the bat. I'm a big Black Keys fan, so the second
Yeah.
this launched off with Lonely Boy, I'm like, oh, okay, you're talking to me. Let's go, let's go.
Yeah.
But I agree with you that I went into this expecting that this was like a fully licensed game, but I noticed bit
Yeah.
by bit, it's like, oh, okay, it's by the Hi-Fi Rush soundtrack team, but their songs are so good that I didn't even care that I
Yeah.
wasn't getting like a jukebox musical. It was like, oh, your tracks are also really, really fun. You talking about the Xbox 360 era of kind of action games takes me right back. Because I didn't even think about it, but beyond like just saying Devil May Cry to again make that comparison, there was Dante's Inferno. There's the
Yeah.
Star Wars Force Unleashed games. OG God of War. They all played like this. You're absolutely right. So
Yeah.
it is nostalgic in an interesting way. I love what you said about pacing, because like this has just like the right amount of it. You kind of explore these linear but detailed levels. You pick up
Yeah.
collectibles, and then you get into fights, but they're never too long. And then you're back to exploring at a really good clip. I can kind of run into things with certain games where I will consume the game, but then get burnt out. But with this
Yeah.
one, the flow is so nice that like when I finished the level, I was like, oh, okay. Like I actually feel a sense of accomplishment. It's just good. Like the design is so smart in this. I really enjoyed it. So how'd you feel about Chai and his friends?
Chai, well, I thought that Chai was gonna get like super annoying, just like cause kind of like his dopey mentality about everything. But his surrounding cast of characters kind of take him down a little bit. And like they make fun of him for being such a dope, that I appreciated that. I thought everyone was done in a good fashion. Like they were just pretty well thought out, pretty well fleshed out, for what the story is, right? Don't expect like a Oscar winning script or something like that, but it works for what this is, for the
Mhm.
gameplay. everyone played their part, and everyone was just a joy to have. And I thought the voice acting for both tracks, at least the two tracks that I tried, the English and Japanese, were good. No one really was not just filling out getting their paycheck, cutting their paycheck kind of thing. Like they're really into it.
They all sold their performances really well. Like I like how Macron has the look of just this brick shithouse, but the way that his character animations and voice actor deliver him, he's a pacifist. He's a very
Yeah,
calm, collected guy, but when he's got to throw down, he will. And it's
yeah.
that nice contrast that sells him as a character among the other ones. Yes, not like an Oscar-winning story, but it's just a kind of
Yeah.
fun rock and roll loving rebels taking on evil musical Elon Musk. I guess in a way,
Yeah.
it
Like
works.
like it totally gave me the vibes of like literally like a Saturday morning cartoon, or even like a you know like just like a regular popcorn anime, if you want to call it like
Hmm.
that. But
Hmm.
like it was just like you knew what you were getting through. Like they definitely hit the marks of like a typical anime. Like you knew certain things were going to happen because of how they laid it out. But it was fine. It worked because I was still having fun playing the game.
Talk about fun. The game world itself, as you're walking around the Armstrong campus and you're meeting all
Yeah,
of the robot Denzians who live and work here, a really good variety of like funny NPCs who are actually worth stopping and talking to. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
you'll either get a hint or you'll get some funny little joke out of them. It's just a well written game.
yeah. Like and like, of course, like they react when you start to beat on them too, and it's like so it was great.
I beat up so many little vacuum cleaner bots unapologetically just because I wanted more currency. I was like, come here.
Yeah. Did you happen to beat up the which I just saw there was an achievement for it, the signs? I need to do that
The
to
tutorial
go back.
bot?
Not the
Or
tutorial bots. There's actual little signs like that kind of float around in the world, so you
oh,
can actually
interesting.
shoot them down. So
Okay, I'll have to check that out. I wasn't aware of that. I'm still
yeah,
kind of making my way through. The achievements are nice to get in this game too. They're never too ridiculous. There are
yeah.
the expected like expert mode ones, which I might not be good enough to touch. You may
Yeah.
be already racking those up, but still.
Look,
Hmm.
I mean, like the one thing I will say in terms of the achievements, there's one like the way that they set up the achievement, like for completing at a particular difficulty level, it doesn't stack up the other ones. So like if you do it on like expert, if you play the game through expert or whatever mode, it doesn't like say, okay, you beat on expert, so therefore we'll give you the achievement for normal and easy. You have to go through the game again and play on those modes, which is kind of
Okay.
sus, you know?
Okay. Gotcha. That's interesting because that's not how a lot of games do it. They usually just
Yeah.
stack them. So I wanted to ask, in terms of the genre of rhythm games, and not just musical based ones, we seem to be getting rhythm incorporated into other elements. I know that Crypt of the Necro Dancer used rhythm with turn based combat. And then, of course, there was Metal Hellsinger. Is it Hellsinger or Hellslinger?
Singer.
Singer. Okay. So
Yeah.
Metal Hellsinger did a first person shooter to the beat of music. What do you think about the kind of rise of this genre? Do you think it has legs? Do you think Hi-Fi Rush could give it a boost? What's your opinion on this?
I don't know because like yeah, there's been like before even Metal Hellsinger, there was games like BPM, and one actually played recent couple months back called Double Kick Heroes, which is like had a kind of guitar hero style, like like you have a scrolling thing on the bottom. But I don't know, like it's I don't think there needs to be like this style of game like every month or something like that needs to be released. Like every once in a while, it's just nice to have that because then I feel like there's just going to be that oversaturation and it just gets blah. Because it's like to make these kind of games, I feel like is going to be hard because you have to hit it in what all three marks, right? You got to have a fun gameplay, then a decent soundtrack, and then what else? Maybe a story if you want, but that's like an iffy. But like
I'd
those
say
two,
a
really, I
story
guess.
that makes the concept make sense in the world, which it
Right?
does very much in Hi-Fi Rush.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like it's hard to get all those things right, and fortunately, this game does, and that's why it's awesome. And like So I love playing it.
No, absolutely. I should have asked you this up top, but are you a musician? Can you play any instruments?
I am not, well, I don't know. I guess you could say I used to play piano when I was younger.
Okay, okay,
And yeah, and so I guess in that sense, maybe, but not really. Like not in my past, I'd say 20-ish years have I
okay.
really picked up and played it anymore.
See,
But
I
yeah.
I shirked musical opportunities when I was younger. I kind of regret it now. I actually, if I can go back in time, I would probably take up something. But I was
Yeah.
curious to hear a musician's thoughts. Like getting rhythm down for this was a little difficult for me because I just
Mm.
have no sense of it. Did you find rhythm a little easier to grasp because you have just background in some kind of instrument?
Somewhat, but there are certain points in the game where I felt like it just felt a little off.
Okay.
And but that's the beauty of the game too, is that they don't like necessarily punish you like they do like in Rock Band or Guitar Hero or any like I think even Metal Hellsinger. Yeah, even if you're off the beat, you're still doing damage. It's just that you're not doing as much damage. If that makes sense.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it's good in that sense. And then then there's like a bunch of like accessibility options that they throw in there where you don't even have to like really get to the beat. Like you can even turn it all the way down, so it's just like one button. You can play the entire game, which is weird but interesting.
I mean, hey, I'm
Um,
a big fan of accessibility overall, so that's
right.
great. I guess I didn't notice it too much. I usually hit around 70% of the timing.
Oh wow,
And
that's better than me. I'll
oh,
tell you that
really?
much. Yeah.
Oh, I thought I was trash. Oh, dang.
No,
Okay.
that's
Well,
really
I
good.
mean, hey, as long as you're having fun, not judging anybody,
Yeah.
but
No.
I'm just surprised. Okay, yeah, yeah. Well, overall, I was just asking because I've also like recommended this game to several of my friends that I know do play instruments, and I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
you got to check this out because I'm just a musical dummy and I like it. So,
What did they? Did you get any feedback from them anyway?
not yet,
Or
but like
okay.
they definitely sounded like, oh wow, when I recommended it, like that's something that's rarely heard of, as we're saying, because this genre is not too big yet, not
Mhm.
oversaturated yet, as you mentioned.
Yeah. Like I said, I feel like there might be more double A or maybe even a little bit lower games that have this type of style of game. It's just yeah, to your point, maybe because Hi-Fi Rush has gotten so popular, maybe it will shed light into the other like more indie games that are out there that have this style of game. Like to your point, like I didn't even realize I forgot about Curse of the Necrodancer. Like I've heard of it before, but I just never like looked into it. But
Mhm.
yeah, maybe you get that kind of itch for another game to come and replace it for the time being until the sequel comes out.
That was a big question I had for you. So would you be interested in seeing this become a franchise? Do you want to see further adventures of Chai and friends, or maybe further adventures in this game world? Like, what do you think? Does this franchise have legs?
Well, I mean, I could see it continuing. The way that it kind of ends, there's a possibility. I think they left the door open for sequels
Mhm.
if this game was a hit, which I hope it is in their eyes. I don't know. Like it would be kind of cool. I don't know if it's like a DLC or something that they could do where you could like play your own tracks, and then
Freestyle a
like
little bit, you mean?
like a freestyle a little bit. Like that would be
Okay.
kind of cool to see the world change based on the type of sound music that you're playing and stuff like that. That could be kind of cool. I would. It seems like it'd be possible, but I don't know what the kind of the engine is in the background for them to do all
Hmm.
that stuff. But
Well, now there's an official
but
record of it here.
yeah,
If Hi-Fi Rush 2 happens with freestyle, you can sue them for stealing your idea.
nice, nice.
I'm laughing in that it seems a bit cynical to get an original idea and then really instantly be like, franchise this, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
it's so cool and unique that like I do want more of it. To
yeah.
my
Like
knowledge, as of recording
I,
this, there's no DLC announced, but it's only 1 month, so who knows? Who knows?
yeah. I hope, unlike I'd say American television, for the most part, it doesn't overstay its welcome. Like I wouldn't mind a sequel, and to your point, maybe just even DLC, and then they move on with it. Like maybe take this formula of the rhythm based thing and have a different game entirely. I don't know.
Sure.
It's possible. Yeah, but I definitely want some merch. I definitely want that first and foremost. So I'll be looking for
I think
that.
it's coming. I want this. I want a physical copy of this. Like this is a
Yeah.
game that I want to own. And I'm curious if they're gonna do that or if they really want to push the Xbox Game Pass model on more people through it. Did you see that recent report that like Microsoft acknowledged that Game Pass has negatively impacted sales across the board? What's your take on all of that as an Xbox Game Pass, connoisseur yourself?
Well, I mean, it was fairly obvious in what they were saying. Like it made sense, right? Because if you're not buying the games you're getting on a Game Pass, like that's fine. But it also gives um, developers of like the smaller games, I think, a bigger audience to at least get exposure to that game. Will it equate to a sale? Maybe not. But like I know I've bought games from Game Pass because like either one they were coming off a Game Pass and then you got that 20% off discount generally when they're about to leave. So then you've got that kind of thing. Like I know like I bought Yakuza and some other games in the past because they were just so good. I enjoyed them so much and like I it it, it might not necessarily always be the case, but at least there's that possibility of a sale later on.
I'm really interested to see how many of these characters become cosplay mainstays at cons. I usually go to a couple cons a year, and like they're all. I mean, I guess you have the cosplayers who can really do interesting mechanical work, quote unquote. So I would love to
Yeah.
see a chai, a peppermint. Time will tell. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, very positive response overall on the internet. I'm curious how safe it is to call this a game of the year contender. It's my number one of the year. It's just like, and again, I'm not trying to like hold it up like saying awards mean everything, but it's gonna
Yeah.
be a very stacked year. And I just don't want this game to disappear off anyone's radar. You know what I mean? I would love for
Yeah.
this to keep going. What do you think?
I mean, it's already locked in as my game of the year
Mm,
because it was just so fun and like the fact that I'm still playing it even after I finish the game that in itself tells me that this is something very special. And I can't I get what you're saying. Like there's Spider-Man 2 coming out, Diablo 4,
get out of
all this
here. All of
all
them.
this
All of them. Starfield, no
oh
chance. No chance.
Starfield, like like this is the thing. This is exactly the thing you're comparing it to, right? All these other games have had hype to them, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's been that drift, and then this game just kind of drops, and it's already like stole the show for me.
Yeah,
And but if
we knew
if it's
Tears of the
not in
Kingdom
there,
was coming. We knew Tears of the
right? That
Kingdom was
too.
coming, but here, wow, a surprise.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know. It's gonna be tough for me. It's gonna be tough to dethrone this. I'll say that much.
I got you. I got you. Well, I don't blame you at all. I know how special this is to you. Well, any final thoughts on Hi-Fi Rush?
Play it if you
Yeah.
haven't played it.
Why are you still
And
watching this? Go play
you
it.
why are you still watching this go? But the one thing there, I will say one negative. There's
Oh, okay.
two negatives I will
Okay.
say to be aware of. One, when you are replaying this game, it is kind of crappy that you can't skip a lot of the tutorial stuff. Like
Mhm.
like the overall ones where you kind of go into the, I don't know, dream sequence or whatever you want to call it. Those can be skipped. But then there are like the things where they're showing you the mechanics again at certain points. They still rehash them, which I thought was kind of lame. And the other thing I want to say is while the placement of like the pickups is usually pretty good, like the gears, like the stuff that you collectibles wise, the health I feel like is always placed in odd locations. It's either like right after a boss or right before, but then like I don't know. It's just kind of weird where they place them. I don't know if
No,
you've
you have a
felt
point.
that.
You have a point with the health in that for me, like I felt like health was not as present. And I
Right.
wondered if it's because I'm playing on normal mode. Maybe there's a lot more health on easy mode and story mode. But from what you're saying, that it's placed so sparingly, that's what I'm seeing as
Yeah.
not enough. That's
It's like
interesting.
oddly I mean, it is sparingly placed, but it's like also in weird places where it's like you might get your health pickups, and then 2 rooms later, you still don't have another health pickup. It's weird.
I mean, look, there's no such thing as a perfect object. There are
Right.
probably some things in this that if I thought of on a micro level, I could gripe about, but
Yeah.
the pros outweigh the cons. Like
Yes.
I
100%.
absolutely, yeah, everybody else,
100%.
like I said, play this. It's an absolute joy. If you have Game Pass, you already have it. If you don't, this is a perfect excuse to try it out. So
And it's not even a expensive game, I think, overall. Like it's not a $60 game. I think it's like $40 on Steam. And
let me look that up. We'll
it
look that
is
up right now, live,
yeah,
live together.
it is well worth that. I'll tell you that.
$29.99.
Yeah.
And if you pay the extra $10, you get the soundtrack. It looks like deluxe edition.
Great soundtrack.
It just says upgrade pack. I don't. Oh no, it's alternate skins. So for $10, you get alternate skins. But still,
well,
still a great soundtrack. That doesn't take any away from that.
Still a great soundtrack, and I think well worth the $30. Like you get a lot of gameplay for that $30.
Well, thank you so much, Chris, for being here for 1 month later.
Yeah.
We hope you enjoyed this show. Please go check out 1 Hour, One Decision. Check out Chris's micro review of this game. There's some interesting things he has to say that he didn't talk about in this episode. Kind of like what the story of Hi-Fi Rush means to him in our modern age of certain story tropes. It's really interesting. I would tell you to give that a shot. What's next for the team? Anything you can tease, Chris?
Dropping episodes weekly. Maybe some merch. I don't know.
Ooh.
That might be coming. I don't know. We're trying to get that all sorted out, but interviews and stuff like that we're trying to get to as well. So let's see.
Hell yeah. Well, thanks for watching, and until another game is 30 days old, we'll see you in the future.